Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Breaking Barriers, the mental health podcast. I am Camila.
And I'm Lizzy. And I am so beyond excited to have a very special guest with us today. Her name is Annie Vasquez, also known as Annie the Alchemist. She's a poet, a writer, a former journalist, featured in the Miami Herald, NBC6, Good Morning America, and she's here with us today. So welcome, Annie!
Thanks for having me, ladies.
And she's not only a wellness advocate, she's also certified for meditation. She's certified in Reiki and sound bowl therapy. She's also being very much recognized in People, in Elite Daily, and the Time Out magazine as well. So we are so excited to have her here to show you how you can implement her practices into your daily life.
She's also the creator of the best-selling affirmations deck. So first of all, we have my little prayer book, which we have here. Clearly, I've been working on it. We're going to dive into this. And we have also the abundance journal and the affirmations for abundance. So we're going to dive into all of this.
Okay.
Before we do, though, I want to ask you something. How did you go from teaching into being a creator of all of this? Like, how did this happen?
So teaching was a job that I took to supplement my income as a freelance journalist. And I knew that eventually I wanted to get out of it. And so basically what I started doing is what I'm teaching now is implementing affirmations, prayer, meditation, scripting with like a journal, like basically writing out what I saw my future self being like. And the moment came. Yeah.
That's like manifesting what you like.
Basically manifested exactly where I wanted to be, which was to be a full-time writer. I just didn't know that it was going to be in the capacity as a blogger at the time. And it happened. So being flexible with your manifestations is important too.
Being flexible with your manifestations.
Because sometimes we have a specific goal, but the universe has something better for us in store.
That's right.
It wasn't until I became flexible that I had my breakthrough. Before I was like set on being a journalist for a certain publication. And I just let that go and I said full-time. Freedom, flexibility, have my dog with me, travel. I listed those details and the door opened, so
you would write all of this down. You were journaling.
Yes.
And doing your affirmations. And then this is how you had this total shift change. And you went from being a teacher to doing this full time.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to pick up the signs too, right? Sometimes it's in situations that you don't know how you get out. You know the life that you want. But what is that step that you have to take? How do you see the signs into taking the next step?
So when you set like an intention or you don't know how it's going to happen, but it's going to happen in the most perfect way. And sometimes it's surprising and it can be uncomfortable. So for me, I was put in a position where it was very uncomfortable. I actually was, I think for like 6 months, I was just really like not happy. I was depressed and I was like, how am I going to get out of this? So the pressure starts, right? And what gets formed under pressure?
Yeah.
Diamonds. And I got called into the office. One thing led to another and I quit on the spot. I walked out and I would have never had the strength to do that had I not been in that pressure, you know?
Right.
But somehow, some way we find
everything happens for a reason.
And we get strength. So
I find myself saying that all the time. All the time. And something that we were discussing before we started today's episode, it's your name, Annie the Alchemist.
Right.
Hearing and listening back to the Dharma, that things fall into place and then time passes by and that's when you understand the meaning of it. And reading the book, The Alchemist, you can really relate to that too. In the book, they say that it is written, the story is written. So as you move into take those circumstances that you quit on the spot, I bet that was scary.
Yeah.
that's how we're able to create all of this.
Yes, and like in the book, the universe will help you, will come and support. I think there's like that quote, the universe will conspire with you. So yeah, that book was very influential in my life.
In all of our lives, because we always,
Every time that I read it, and in the time that in my life that I am, I find a different meaning all the time.
If you haven't already read it, we definitely recommend reading The Alchemist. It's a great book.
Paulo Coelho.
Very good.
So that's how I got the name Alchemist, because alchemist means to change from one to another. So my thing was, we're all alchemists. We can change our situation from negative to positive, or wherever we are, we can change it with our thoughts and actions, really.
I love that you just said that, because I often find that we talk about this all the time, is that if you are constantly feeding yourself negative thoughts, negative words, you will be negative. You're going to find yourself in that negative energy. But if you're feeding yourself positive words, positive thoughts, then you're in that nice positive space. So I think that that's so important that you just said that.
Absolutely. One of the things that I had to do was do that for public speaking, like to do camera work or to like do a presentation in front of an audience, because that's not my strength.
That's actually the biggest fear for people is public speaking.
So I had to tell myself, I'm a good public speaker. My thoughts are communicated well. And it would give me strength. And eventually you start believing what you're telling yourself. So
right.
I love that.
Yeah.
And also you've written about the power of prayer in My Little Prayer book. How do you think within the spirituality, prayers, affirmations, how does that can impact your mental health?
So words have vibration, and the prayer book is full words with positive vibration to move people, to give people strength. And it's just like that test, where they have two plants and they're feeding one plant positive words and it grows and it blossoms and it's beautiful. And then the other one, they're feeding it negative, harsh words and the plant dies. And that's why it's important to be conscious of what music you're listening to, the books you're reading, the people that you speak with and hang out with. And I was very driven when I wrote that book to have it move people. So whatever they're going through at that moment, that they could feel the power in the words.
So I'm a mom, and I can understand that it's so important that we need to speak positive words, particularly, for my girls. I want to always be positive with them and have them see how beautiful they are inside and out. So I love that you just said that. The flip side of that is that I know personally, and I know that we all know, that there's going to be people in our lives that are not always going to celebrate our wins.
Right.
Maybe you can touch on that with your own career. Has
the energy, the haters.
Well, I love what you were saying about being a mom and teaching your kids young, because once you learn this, even if you hear someone say something negative about you, it does not have power over you. Correct. We are the only ones that can validate ourselves. And what people are saying is just merely a projection.
Yes,
right?
Of themselves.
So you have that awareness, and that's super key, because I didn't have that growing up. I don't know if you did, but your children now have it. And once you start working with affirmations or practicing mindfulness, it just will slide right off of you. Yeah. You'll be super aware of what's happening,
Can you share with us your go-to affirmation? What's the one that you say
your
all the
routine?
Time?
Tell us your routine.
My routine? Well, my go-to affirmation is I am good enough.
Oh, I love that one.
I feel like that's one that a lot of us need to hear, because in anything, whether you're applying for a job or you're doing something new, you have to know that you're good enough, and that we're all beginners at one point, And my routine is wake up, burn incense, light a candle, pull a prayer. So the way that I pull a prayer is I'll flip through the book.
Mm-hmm. So you flip through the book?
Yeah, and I'll ask for guidance, and then wherever...
Flip. See which one comes up.
Oh my God, yeah.
I know.
Okay, so I got prayer to call back my power,
Okay.
Wow. And then it has the prayer, the mantra, and, the poem that piggybacks off. But this is a good one because when you don't feel strong or you just need some power, this instantly you'll start feeling it. So I do my prayer, I'll pull an affirmation, and then I journal, and then that's it.
And everything is positive there, so it can set the tone of the rest of your day. You can feel the power.
Yeah. Because I don't always, nobody wakes up in a good mood. Right. Not even me.
Right.
Sometimes I don't feel like dealing with whatever's happening.
Exactly.
But I know that I have the power to shift. Mm-hmm. And that is the tool that takes me there.
Yes.
Instead of carrying that energy throughout the whole day, you have to know that you can shift. And that's another thing that routine brings, So what I teach is that meditation isn't just for like calmness at the moment, but eventually it starts trickling into your everyday life. Where if there's a situation or a challenge, you're not going to flip out or lose it or be like, but you will have trained your mind to move slower and to just be like, okay, everything happens for a reason.
It comes with the awareness, the energy shifting.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I find that lately I've been working on breath work because like I mentioned before, I do follow Radhi Devalukian. She talks a lot about breath work. She says that the breath is the anchor between the mind and the body. And I find that in many different situations, like if I'm about to do public speaking or even for this podcast, oftentimes I do 5 deep breaths. So breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. 5 really deep breaths helps me. It helps me to control my emotions.
Yeah.
Because we know that when we're angry or when we're depressed or sad, when you're like crying a lot and your breath is like
hyperventilating.
Right. So having control over your breath is so important. So that's just a tip that I wanted to share with everyone. But what I really want you to help us learn today is meditation, because
no idea.
We don't. I don't know.
It won't shut off. I cannot control it. My mind is racing. I'm having 10 different thoughts all over, and
so the mind won't shut off. You learn to control it, and so you come back to the present. Because the mind is always you're gonna start a meditation, and you're gonna be like, I have to do the laundry. I have to pick up the kids. I'm hungry. Oh my god! And then eventually a thought will pop in, but you just let it go and you come back center. So the breath work is true. It does anchor you. Another thing, there's other ways to anchor is you could just place your hand on your heart and the other one on your belly. And that just starts to soothe the nervous system, and it's fast and it's easy. Because depending on where we are emotionally, sometimes we just don't want to breathe. We have to.
I've noticed that I hold my breath a lot of times. And then when I take a couple of deep breaths, I feel instantly relieved.
So this really does help. And then there's like different...
I feel like this is... Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but I feel like this is a very... Like, I feel protected.
Yeah.
Like a hug,
right? Like a hug.
Right. Because you're touching your heart chakra, and then the belly is your strength, right? Your inner strength. And so you just start to like soothe that way. The other one is to hold your finger, like just
any finger.
Yeah, your index finger you hold with the other hand, and this is another calming. Some people say it's because when we were babies, our parents would hold. So there's like a memory.
I do that with my baby.
Right. So there's a memory of like soothing, right? So we're, and then also just moving the hands wherever the energy might feel heavy, and we'll feel it. We'll feel the activation.
It's almost like loving yourself, your body, being more conscious about.
I feel like I could do this. I'm gonna implement.
These are like simple ones because like you could be anywhere and just do this.
I hope the listeners that are trying this are feeling it and they can I love it.
And all of these things are so important. These are coping mechanisms, because for our listeners right now that are maybe feeling anxious or, going through a hard time, maybe they're a little sad or depressed or whatever, whether it's meditation or breath work, all of this is going to help you get through these hard times.
Yeah, you need to have a toolbox, and you need to have a variety of tools. And whatever you're going through, you'll remember, okay, I have this one. Like, I have the deck of cards, and I'll shuffle. Do you want to try it?
Yes.
Okay. So you would just grab...
Now this is, you're opening up the affirmations deck, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, I designed these a little bit bigger because it has more than an affirmation. It has a breathwork exercise. It has a journal prompt to make you think, and then it has a crystal recommendation if you're into crystals. So basically, you're gonna shuffle, and you're just gonna think about whatever's on your mind, and then you're gonna shuffle.
Is it possible that I may not know what's on my mind and my subconscious?
Yeah, I mean, we pull by the message that we need to hear.
Okay, that's what I like. And I do believe in those chances and that everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
So I do believe that whatever I'm meant to listen and read right now is gonna come out. Okay, I love this. Now what I do?
So you're gonna pull a card.
Okay. Ooh, I surrender to the unknown. I remain optimistic, whether it's a move, love, career, or an opportunity. I allow the universe to guide me through it. I know my life will unfold in the most divine way. The chakra is the crown and third eye chakra. The crystal is azurite.
Azurite, yeah.
And to heal, I have to place hands on head and third eye. I'm assuming this is
So
fine.
you go like that.
Okay.
And then
Close your eyes, inhale and exhale purple and indigo light 3 times.
right.
What's the purple and indigo
So
light?
the purple is connected to your crown chakra. It could be white or purple. And then your third eye is indigo, like the color of our jeans.
Oh, okay.
So you would just think of those 2 colors and inhale and exhale 3 times.
Sorry, it's taking some time.
No, do it at your own pace. There's no rush. And then your journal is...
What do I need to surrender to today?
So what do you need to surrender to today?
To the unknown. Man, I like this. I'm taking this with me. We can share.
So that one, like whenever I fly, because I'm a bit of a nervous flyer, that's the one that I use. I surrender,
Cool.
I'm safe, I'm protected, my angels are with, but I surrender, because everything is going to work out for our best and highest self, always.
Yes.
We just have to surrender, right?
We have to
And to
surrender.
believe in it.
And to believe in it, because it always does work out for us,
Yeah.
right? You try it. You want to pull one?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Shuffle. What do you need to know today? What is the message that the universe, your spirits, you name it, want you to know?
So I have kids that do this. Like, I have families and the parents do it with their kids. It's a very shareable thing. And if the kid can't read, you read it to them.
What did it say?
I move to shift energy. My body deserves to release energy. My body holds emotions. I move daily to honor myself. Movement is like an internal bath. Whether it's stretching, walking, or dancing, the movement I choose resonates and purifies me. I love this one.
She does a lot of movements,
I
like
do.
random movement. She's always doing the thing with her
Very
legs.
hyper. I don't stop.
So you have a lot of energy.
So the chakra, the sacral chakra.
Right.
So
That's pelvic area. That's joy, creativity, passion.
my crystal is the orange calcite.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And to heal, place hands on pelvis, close your eyes, inhale and exhale orange light. Okay.
So orange is the color of that chakra. And like how both of you are wearing those different shades of blue, that's connecting with one of your chakras. So yours is the throat chakra and yours is the third eye. So if we're wearing a specific color, it is because we're trying to hone in on that energy. So I have black on, and black is connected to your root chakra, and so is red. So this is a color for grounding energy. So obviously when I have to do camera work or, do this stuff, I want to come in grounded.
Wow.
Right? Yeah.
And I guess I need something in my throat to help me speak what I want to say.
Very nice.
yeah.
And then this is the one for clarity, you were saying.
For clarity.
Okay. Well, this is very cool.
Thanks.
I wanted to say, because I've been diving into your book and my little prayer book. So it is a non-denominational. So whether you are Catholic, Christian, Jewish, whatever, I think it's cool because kind of like what you do, you open the book, you flip to it, and there's going to be a prayer there that you can say out loud. And a lot of it, or maybe the whole thing, really stems from a place of gratitude. And I think that if we're all grateful, first of all, this would be a much better world to live in, right? If we walk around with an attitude of gratitude.
Right.
So I really love that about your book.
Thank you.
If you haven't checked it out, guys, go on Amazon. That's where I got mine. Is there anywhere else other than Amazon?
Barnes and Noble, Walmart, Target, and in Miami, Books and Books, Soul to Soul.
Wow.
And we have her Instagram, The Fashion Poet, and also the website, anniethealchemist.com.
Any other tips or anything else that you can share with our listeners before we let you go, even though we've had you, we don't want you to go?
Continue.
I feel
I have so many more questions.
you can ask me anything. The best tip is to be kind to yourself and to be patient because everything is working out for us.
Yeah.
And that book, my little prayer book, was a goal of mine when I was in college. So 25 years ago, maybe, probably more. I can't do math that well, but I was 20. So now I'm 47. And it took time.
You don't look 47.
Thank you.
It's a meditation.
It's a meditation.
Yeah, you don't look 47.
So it took a minute for that to manifest. But I never lost hope. Right? I had a vision book. I believed in it. But I had to do different jobs, right? Trust. The universe led me to different writing jobs. I even taught writing, and that was my teaching job, teaching writing and literature. I did, Channel 7. I was a news writer, you name it. And it was building my confidence.
I was going to say
as a writer, and to learn different things. And by the time I got to this, I was ready and I was confident. And I'm doing my second one now. But that had to happen that way. And that's why it took long. A lot of people, they give up hope. So they're like, why is it not happening? It's not going to happen. Yes, it's going to happen. It always happens or better.
So you always have to trust and be confident that it is going to happen. Take the signs that come your way to learn, because you can ask for patience. You can ask the universe whatever you want. It will deliver, but you need to trust that it's going to happen, and you need to learn and take everything that happens as a path to take you there.
Absolutely. Like I've gotten people married. I've been able to see people manifest babies, jobs, move, a house, anything, because they started practicing a routine, whether it's in the morning or evening, but they draw cards, they light a candle, they read the book, they journal.
They pray however they pray, whether it's to God, the universe, anything. You have to have faith.
But that's to ground you and give you, strength to the next day and the next day. And the more you do it, the better things start happening for you and start getting.
That's awesome. I think that's such a good takeaway for all of our listeners.
I love
Thank you.
So much.
Thanks for having me.
You are a light in this world.
You,
thank you for being here with us.
And also for our listeners, she also does workshops, correct?
I do them online, and then I do them at different shops.
Perfect. So everybody that can interact, share, and meet people with the same energy. I think that's something amazing.
We're going to be at your next workshop.
Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Awesome. So thank you guys for listening to this episode. We learned so much from this amazing woman that I cannot wait for you to like, subscribe, and share to everybody that you think that needs to listen to this. We are on Apple Podcasts, we are on Spotify, and you can follow us on Instagram at Breaking Barriers, the podcast. As for Annie, she has the Fashion Poet on Instagram. We're gonna leave all the information tagged on the description box, and the AnnieTheAlchemist.com, where you can learn more about manifestation, her workshop that she does for energy. And thank you for being here with us.
Bye.